Would you accept that there's no place for any content on Facebook which attacks people on lines of race, religion, or ethnicity?
Yes, and our policies are very clear that that's not acceptable.
Yes, and in fact your policy is very clear that when such attacks are made, that you're committed to removing it anytime you become aware of it. Would that be right?
Yes.
And if you just go to page 1 of that extract, you'll see Mr. Zuckerberg's Facebook extract from August 2017. And I'll read you the portions which I've highlighted. He says, when someone tries to silence others or attacks them based on who they are or what they believe, that hurts us all and is unacceptable. There is no place for hate in our community. That's why we've always taken down any post that promotes or celebrates hate crimes or acts of terrorism. Would that be correct?
Yes.
And you do so because you are aware that such content has the potential to divide communities, incite violence, tension, hatred, and strife. Would you agree?
Yes.
Right. Would you go to the second page of that extract? And I think you'll be familiar with what's happened in Sri Lanka recently,
That's right.
in March this year. The post that was put up originally is the parts that is in pink. It's in the Sinhalese language, the language of the native Sri Lankans. And the post translates to, and I quote, "Kill all Muslims, don't even let an infant of the dogs escape."
Yeah.
That would be properly characterized as hate speech?
Clearly in breach
would
of our terms of service.
It's a clear breach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And it was then put up at a time when there was significant tensions between the people in Sri Lanka and Muslims, causing damage to property, deaths even, riots, damage to mosques, and eventually it resulted in the Sri Lankan government declaring a state of emergency in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
And would you agree that in the context of that kind of tensions occurring in Sri Lanka, putting up such a post would invariably travel far, divide those tensions or stress those tensions even more, and divide the community?
Yes, that's high priority content for us to remove.
Yes. If you just look at the page, it was then pointed out by a user, one of your users on Facebook, and subsequently picked up by one Harin Fernando, who was the communications minister of Sri Lanka at that time. Why is it that Facebook has refused to take it down?
The comment should be down. If it's not down, it should be. What I'm seeing in this is there are two possible reasons why the content was not taken down at the time. One is that simple error on the part of the person who looked at it.
Let me just stop you there. You go over the page of that second document and you will see the response by Facebook when you were asked to take it down. And it says, "Thank you for the report, you did the right thing. We've looked over the post." So it was no mistake, Mr. Allen. And it says, "It doesn't go against one of our specific community standards."
Yeah. That was a mistake, though. I just want to be clear that somebody has made a mistake in the review.
Mr. Allen, this is a very serious, egregious mistake. Would you agree?
I agree, yes.
It goes completely against your own policy.
That's right.
To take down immediately.
Yeah.
So would you accept that this case illustrates that Facebook cannot be trusted to make the right assessment on what can properly appear on its platform?
No. So we make mistakes. Our responsibility, serious mistakes. Our responsibility is to reduce the number of mistakes. I still think that we are best placed to actually do the content removals, and that's why we're investing very heavily now in artificial intelligence, where we would precisely create a dictionary of hate speech terms in every language. We're working through the languages. The best way to resolve this is a dictionary of hate speech terms in Sinhalese that gets surfaced to a Sinhalese-speaking reviewer who can make sure that we do the job properly.
Well, Mr. Allen, in this case, whilst one excuse might be that your users or your reviewers don't understand Sinhalese, I mean, you have the communications minister of Sri Lanka telling you that this is hate speech and to take it down. And you review it, your people review it, you said hundreds of thousands of people review it, but they don't seem to it.
No, and as an employee of Facebook, I'm ashamed that things like this happen, and they do and they shouldn't.
Thank you, Mr.